Hello, my name is Marissa Crisp, and I'm going to be informing you on why water pollution is harmful. So, what exactly is water pollution? Well, water pollution is defined as the contamination of water with chemical or biological agents as a result of human activities. And sometimes water pollution is not harmful to its environment, but in large quantities, it is very harmful to the environment, affecting the ecosystem and the way of life of all the animals and humans in the area. And when we think of water pollution, we often do not think of the fact that it can impact our daily lives and is more than just a distant problem that affects developing nations. Water is a necessity of life and is used, especially in America, as something more than just a form of sustenance, but more of a form of recreation and something we just take for granted a lot because it's always there. But with the growing issue of water pollution, these recreational activities we are able to enjoy may not exist any longer. There is a wide variety of types of water pollution, which range from something as simple as a plastic bag in the water just floating around, to elevated levels of eutrophication due to farm runoff into streams. It is an issue that, if not solved, will continue to decrease our available water supply, altering the way of life we are so used to living. One of my favorite things to do is to go out to a creek or a stream and go fishing. I love to be able to just throw a pole into the water or the line on the pole into the water and just catch a fish. So, to be able to go fishing and be able to catch something in a body of water, there has to be something in it to be able to catch. But in order for there to be fish in a body of water, it needs to be able to sustain life with plenty of dissolved oxygen as well as other nutrients that the fish need in order to survive. Water pollution, however, can greatly decrease the health of a body of water, preventing survival of fish in an unpleasant environment. Eutrophication, as I mentioned earlier, is a form of water pollution typically caused by farm runoff. Eutrophication is the presence of excess nutrients in a body of water, which may seem like a good thing, but is actually very bad for the environment and causes extreme problems. The excess nutrients comes from the runoff of fertilizers used on farm crops and also the runoff of farm animal waste into nearby streams and rivers and lakes and things. The excess nutrients causes the formation of algal blooms on the surface of the water, which both blocks light to vegetation down below and also the algae grown in the algal bloom chokes out the rest of life by taking in all the dissolved oxygen present. So without oxygen, the fish that I like to catch are unable to survive. And these types of water pollution, algal blooms, are very easy to identify because they form a layer on the top of the surface that can be a different color than what you're used to seeing water being, such as greens, reds, and oranges. So while I fish for fun, there are many people around the world who fish for survival or for a living. Fish are a big part of the worldwide food consumption, and if they are no longer able to survive in the ocean or other bodies of water, then the whole fishing industry is unable to function, and many people around the world will be unable to survive because they no longer have a resource that they had been relying on their entire lives. Now, let's go back to the topic of drinking water and the involvement of water pollution in the quality of our drinking water. So the United States, as a developed country, has an established system for the filtration and decontamination of drinking water. However, even with this system that has been hundreds of years old, the pollution of water still occurs, which has been most recently in Flint, Michigan, and also in parts of South Carolina. The type of pollution seen in these two states was with lead being present in the waterways, and in the case of South Carolina, there was also waste contamination within the water, which is something we definitely don't want because it's just gross to think of drinking other people's wastewater, and we rely on these established systems to clean our water systems. And these types of water pollution are a lot less obvious than algal blooms and require chemical testing in order to prove, but nonetheless, it is still a harmful form of water pollution. And if we as a developed nation still have issues with water pollution and drinking water, then what about other poorer developing nations? Other countries with weaker systems of filtration that do not effectively remove pollutants from water become even less effective after major storms. Natural disasters are another source of major water pollution. Although these are not man-made directly, the form of pollution that it spreads is from man-made objects. So think of it this way. During a hurricane, winds reach extremely fast rates that tear shingles off houses and take debris miles and miles from where they came from. A fact about hurricanes is that they only form over the ocean and then move inland, and coastal areas typically tend to be connected pretty closely with other bodies of water, so it all runs together into one big ocean. So those missing shingles that you can't find around your house are likely to end up in the water somewhere along the way, which can pile up with many other types of debris and block water filtration systems and all that kind of thing, so it's unable to correctly filter our water so that it's safe for us to consume. So while we cannot prevent a storm from occurring, we can better prepare ourselves by taking away loose items that have the potential to cause damage to waterways and treatment facilities if carried miles away. Water pollution is harmful in many ways, and its ability to change our ways of life through alterations of fishing industry, recreation, and healthy drinking water that is necessary for life. Water pollution is more harmful than many people think. It is not the distant problem that is depicted to us in third world countries where people don't have access to clean water. It's more that can affect the way of life that we live and is involved in every day. We don't even realize we're polluting the water when we accidentally let that plastic bag go flying out of the back of our car. But that could land in an ocean, kill a turtle that can no longer feed on the algae that causes algal blooms. It's all a cycle, and we have to work to prevent harmful water pollution.